I bought Amanda a house with your credit card. My mother-in-law's voice dripped with smug satisfaction through the phone. What are you going to do about it? I gripped my office desk, steadying myself as the implications of her words sank in. Victoria Bennett, my mother-in-law of 5 years, had finally crossed a line there was no coming back from. A lovely 3-bedroom in River Heights, she continued, clearly delighted by my silence. Amanda deserves a proper home, not that tiny apartment you keep complaining about. I simply help things along. My name is Olivia Martinez, and at 34, I've spent years dealing with Victoria's attempts to undermine me. But stealing my credit card to buy her precious daughter a house? That was a new low, even for her. Nothing to say. Victoria taunted. No threats, no tears. Come now, Olivia. You're usually so quick to play the victim. I allowed myself a small smile, but she couldn't see it. Thank you for letting me know, I replied calmly. Is there anything else? My composed response clearly threw her off. There was a pause, then, well, I just thought you should know where the money went since you'll be seeing it on your statement soon anyway. How thoughtful of you. Have a good day, Victoria. I hung up before she could respond. As soon as the call ended, I pulled up my banking app. There it was, a $425,000 charge to River Heights Realty. My hands should have been shaking. I should have been panicking. Instead, I felt an almost serene sense of satisfaction. You see, Victoria had just made a catastrophic mistake, one I'd been quietly preparing for ever since she tried to access my account 6 months ago. I dialed my lawyer's number. Sarah, it's Olivia. Victoria finally did it. Exactly like you predicted. Sarah's response was immediate. She used the monitored card. Yes, just charge $425,000 for a house in River Heights. For Amanda. Perfect. I could hear the satisfaction in Sarah's voice. Everything's documented and flagged. Do you want me to proceed? I thought about Victoria's smugness, her certainty that she finally put me in my place. I thought about 5 years of snide comments, her constant attempts to elevate Amanda while undermining me, her endless manipulation of my husband Michael with tales of family loyalty and obligation. Yes, I said firmly, proceed with everything we discussed. After hanging up with Sarah, I leaned back in my chair, remembering how this all started. Victoria had never approved of me marrying Michael. I wasn't from the right social circle, didn't have the right background. Amanda, Michael's younger sister, was her pride and joy, the perfect daughter who could do no wrong. From the beginning, Victoria made it clear I would never measure up. But I built my own success, working my way up to becoming CFO of a tech startup. My financial independence seemed to particularly irritate her, especially when Amanda struggled to hold down a job. 6 months ago, I caught Victoria trying to access my banking information on my laptop during a family dinner. She played it off as innocent curiosity, but something in her eyes told me she was planning something bigger. That's when I contacted Sarah and set up the protection plan. We created a secondary credit card account with a substantial limit, knowing Victoria would eventually try something. The card was flagged for fraud monitoring, with every transaction documented and traced. We just had to wait for her to take the bait. My phone buzzed. A text from Michael. Mom just called. She's really excited about helping Amanda buy a house. Did she talk to you about it? I stared at his message, feeling a familiar ache. Michael was a good man, but when it came to his mother and sister, he had a blind spot the size of Texas. Victoria had spent years nurturing that blindness, making sure he never saw her manipulations clearly. We'll talk about it when you get home, I replied. Another buzz. Victoria again. Amanda's so thrilled about the house. You won't spoil this for her, will you? After all, family helps family. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened my email to find an alert from the bank's fraud department, confirming they'd flagged the transaction. Everything was proceeding exactly as planned. My office door opened and my assistant Jenny poked her head in. Your 2 p.m. is here. Are you okay? You look different. I realized I was smiling. I'm fine. Actually, I'm better than fine. Sometimes people show you exactly who they are and give you the perfect opportunity to believe them. Cryptic, Jenny laughed. But you seem to know what you're doing. I did know. For the first time in 5 years, I was done playing Victoria's games. She thought she'd finally beaten me, forced me into a corner where I have to give in to avoid family drama. Instead, she'd walked right into a trap of her own making. The next few days would show Victoria exactly who she was dealing with. And this time, there would be no manipulating her way out of the consequences. I straightened my jacket and stood up. Time for my 2 p.m. After all, life goes on, even when your mother-in-law commits credit card fraud. But first, I sent one quick text to Sarah. Make sure the police report includes every detail. I want the charges to stick. Victoria had always underestimated me. She was about to learn that was a very expensive mistake. Michael arrived home late that evening, his face tense. I was in the kitchen, calmly preparing dinner when he walked in. Olivia, we need to talk about what Mom did, he began, running a hand through his hair. I know she should have discussed it with us first, but Amanda really needs this house. Maybe we can work something out. I turned to face my husband, taking in his pleading expression. Victoria's influence was written all over his words. Work something out. I kept my voice level. Michael, your mother stole my credit card information and fraudulently charged nearly $500,000. What exactly do you suggest we work out? He shifted uncomfortably. She didn't steal anything. She was trying to help Amanda. You know how hard it's been for her since she lost her job at the boutique. The boutique she was fired from for taking merchandise? I reminded him. Just like the 3 jobs before that. That was a misunderstanding, Michael protested weakly. Besides, Mom said she'll help with the payments. She just needed your credit to secure the house before someone else bought it. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Police report filed. The fraud department has frozen the transaction. Expect fallout within the hour. Right on cue, the doorbell rang. Michael opened it to find 2 police officers standing on our porch. Mrs. Martinez? One of them asked. I'm Officer Torres. We're here about a reported credit card fraud involving a real estate purchase. Michael's face paled. Fraud? Olivia, what did you do? What did I do? I stood up straight, meeting his gaze. I reported a crime. Your mother stole my credit card information and made an unauthorized purchase. It's that simple. The next hour was a blur of statements and documentation. I provided the officers with everything Sarah and I had prepared. Records of Victoria's previous attempts to access my accounts, the documented fraud alerts, even screenshots of her gloating texts. Michael sat on the couch, looking shell-shocked as I explained everything to the officers. His phone kept buzzing, no doubt Victoria realizing her plan was unraveling. Just as the police were finishing up, our front door burst open. Victoria stormed in, her face red with fury. How dare you, she shrieked, pointing at me. After everything I've done for this family, you call the police? Over a simple favor? Officer Torres stepped forward. Ma'am, I need you to calm down. Calm down. Victoria laughed hysterically. This ungrateful woman is trying to ruin my daughter's life. Amanda was finally going to have something nice, something she deserves. What your daughter deserves isn't the issue, I said quietly. The issue is that you committed fraud. You stole my credit card information and made an unauthorized purchase of $425,000. It wasn't stealing. Victoria protested. I was helping family. Michael, tell them how this is just Olivia being difficult again. But Michael sat silent, still processing everything he'd learned. His mother's manipulation was finally becoming clear to him. Mrs. Bennett, Officer Torres interjected, we have documented evidence of credit card fraud. You'll need to come with us to the station to answer some questions. Victoria's face crumpled. This is all your fault, she hissed at me. You've never understood family loyalty. You've poisoned my son against me. As the officers led Victoria out, Amanda's car screeched into our driveway. She ran up to the house, mascara streaming down her face. What did you do? She screamed at me. Mom was just trying to help me. The realtor just called. The sale's been canceled. You've ruined everything. I looked at my sister-in-law, taking in her expensive designer outfit and perfectly manicured nails, all funded by Victoria's endless enabling. Your mother committed a crime, I said simply. Actions have consequences. After the police left with Victoria and Amanda stormed out, vowing revenge, Michael finally spoke. Why didn't you tell me what was happening? He asked quietly. About Mom trying to access your accounts before? I sat down beside him. Would you have believed me? Or would you have made excuses for her, like always? He was silent for a long moment. I've been blind, haven't I? All these years, the way she treated you. I always thought you were being oversensitive. She counted on that, I said. She counted on you never questioning her version of events. Michael reached for my hand. I'm so sorry, Olivia. I should have protected you. Instead, I let her manipulate everything. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed again. Sarah's update. Victoria is being charged with credit card fraud and theft. Given the amount involved, she's looking at serious consequences. Want to proceed with pressing charges? I showed Michael the message. He stared at it for a long moment before squeezing my hand. Do what you need to do, he said finally. No more excuses for her behavior. I nodded, typing my response to Sarah. Proceed with everything. It's time for Victoria to face real consequences. As I hit send, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. For years, Victoria had played her games, confident that family loyalty would protect her from consequences. She'd underestimated not just my intelligence but my determination to end her manipulation once and for all. The house she tried to buy for Amanda would remain unsold. But more importantly, the power she held over our family was finally broken. Michael leaned back on the couch, looking exhausted. What happens now? I smiled slightly. Now, we let justice take its course. And we start building boundaries that should have been there all along. 3 months after Victoria's arrest, I sat in a courthouse watching her plea hearing. She looked smaller somehow. Her usual confident demeanor replaced by nervous gestures and darting eyes. Mrs. Bennett. The judge addressed her. You're pleading guilty to credit card fraud exceeding $400,000. Do you understand the consequences of this plea? Victoria's voice trembled. Yes, Your Honor. The prosecutor stood, outlining the case. The defendant used stolen credit card information to attempt purchasing a house. This wasn't a spontaneous act. Evidence shows months of planning, previous attempts to access the victim's accounts, and clear intent to defraud. I felt Michael tense beside me. He'd insisted on coming, despite Victoria's pleas for him to stay away. I need to see this through, he'd said that morning. No more hiding from the truth. The judge reviewed the evidence before speaking. Mrs. Bennett, your actions show a disturbing pattern of premeditation. Given the amount involved and your lack of prior record, I'm sentencing you to 2 years of house arrest, 5 years of probation, and full restitution of any fees incurred by the victim. Victoria's shoulders slumped. Her lawyer had warned her it could have been worse. The amount she attempted to steal could have meant jail time. The house arrest was a mercy. Outside the courthouse, Amanda waited, her face twisted with anger. Happy now, she spat. You've destroyed our family. I turned to face her calmly. Your mother destroyed this family when she decided theft was acceptable. You enabled her by always expecting others to fix your problems. I deserved that house. Amanda's voice rose hysterically. Mom was just trying to help me. No, Michael finally spoke up, his voice firm. Mom was trying to control everyone, like always. And you were happy to let her, as long as you benefited. Amanda stared at her brother in shock. This wasn't the easy manipulation she was used to. You're choosing her over your own family? I'm choosing truth over manipulation, Michael replied. Maybe it's time you learned to stand on your own feet instead of expecting Mom to fix everything. As Amanda stormed off, I squeezed Michael's hand. The past few months had been transformative for our marriage. With Victoria's influence diminished, Michael had started seeing family dynamics clearly for the first time. We'd started marriage counseling, working through years of Victoria's interference. Michael had set firm boundaries with both his mother and sister, making it clear that their manipulation would no longer be tolerated. Victoria's house arrest began immediately. She was confined to her home except for approved activities, her movements monitored by an ankle bracelet. The restitution payments would eat into her savings, forcing her to finally face financial reality. A week after the sentencing, we received a letter from Victoria. The handwriting was shaky, unlike her usual confident scrawl. Olivia and Michael, I realize now what I did was wrong. I convinced myself I was helping Amanda, but I was really just trying to maintain control. The thought of facing consequences never occurred to me. I always assumed family loyalty would protect me from any fallout. Seeing everything I built crumble, my reputation, my relationship with my son, my freedom, has forced me to confront some hard truths. I don't expect forgiveness, but I want you to know I understand why you had to take action. Victoria. Michael read the letter twice before setting it down. Do you think she means it? Maybe, I replied. But actions speak louder than words. Let's see if this understanding lasts beyond her house arrest. As for Amanda, she finally had to face adult responsibilities without Victoria's safety net. She found a job as a receptionist, not the glamorous career she'd imagined, but honest work. Sometimes growing up happens later than it should. Sarah called last week with an update. Victoria's making her restitution payments on time, she reported. And the fraud alert system we set up hasn't detected any new attempts to access your accounts. Good, I said. Sometimes the best lesson is having to live with the consequences of your actions. Looking back, Victoria's attempt to steal my credit card turned out to be a blessing in disguise. It forced everyone to confront the dysfunction that had poisoned our family for years. Michael found his strength, Amanda faced reality, and Victoria learned that manipulation has limits. As for me, I no longer have to prove myself worthy of being part of their family. I am who I am, successful, prepared, and unwilling to be anyone's victim. Victoria's house arrest will eventually end, but the changes in our family dynamics are permanent. Sometimes it takes an explosion to clear the air. In our case, it took a fraudulent house purchase to build something stronger, a family based on truth instead of manipulation. Michael and I are expecting our first child now. Victoria will be a grandmother, but one with clear boundaries and limited influence. It's not the family story she would have written, but it's the one she created through her own actions. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's simply letting justice take its course.